Listen, when I was in high school, everybody was like, she's the bad kid. Her mom has colored hair. She has her nose pierced. Still like her mama lets her color her hair. Her mama lets her get her tongue pierced. Like she's a bad kid. Don't let, like nobody can hang out with her. Right? Like I was the bad kid. Truly, I was the fucking angel of the group, and I was scared to fucking death of Susan. There was no way in hell I was gonna do something that was gonna get Susan pissed off because she was gonna be the fuck out of me. So everybody was all like, no, 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 no. But I was truly the good kid that didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do none of that shit. None of that. Okay. Everybody always wanted me to go because I was the designated driver and I was the one that was holding their hair back out of their puke and I was the one that was keeping them from making poor sexual choices. Okay. But Susan was like, she's like, you are not leaving the house without the house being clean and without everything being done. I was like fucking Cinderella, right? You had to clean, like, not only did my bedroom have to be clean, but the living room, dining room, and kitchen. Those were the three things. So when I say clean, I mean that bitch meant you was washing fucking windows. And I'd be like, I ain't going nowhere. Fuck y'all. No. And then you would have a whole fucking group of people. Sometimes it'd be people I'd never even fucking met before just show up to the house and start cleaning, picking up the yard, all kinds of shit. Because I was a designated driver, and without me, they wouldn't go in no fucking where. Not safely anyway. So they was like, oh, we'll come clean your house so that we can go and do whatever the fuck we want to do, and you'll drive us around and make sure that we're safe. So I would just sit there on the couch or fucking watching MTV or CMT while all these people would be cleaning my mama's whole house so I could go somewhere, because I damn sure wasn't gonna clean all of that just to go babysit somebody. Fuck that. So one night, we're all, me and my two besties at the time, had drove down to the boondocks in it's Gadsden. It's not really the Boondocks, but it's the pier. We called it the Boondocks at the time. It's the pier next to Moraine Park. And this guy took my friend's keys, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm not letting y'all leave. Like, you got to stay here with me, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Bro, Susan said that I had to be home by 11:30. That means we all got to be home by 11:30. Everybody's curfew is 11:30. If my curfew is 11:30, everybody's curfew is 11:30, and I cannot be in Gadsden. I got to be back up on the mountain. And by this time it's 11 o'clock, so I know that I'm not making it in time. I know that my whole 30 minutes, like I got 30 minutes to, I'm not, it ain't happening." And he still ain't gave the fucking keys back. So I said, "Okay, bet." And I called my mama and I said, "He won't let me have the keys." And she was like, "Okay, I'm calling Etowah County. They're going to come pick you up." And I was like, "Oh, no, no worries. He won't give me Katie's keys, but I got his keys. I'm going to drive his car." His car, I think it was an Eclipse. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Like one of those little spider Eclipse. Either way, it was a stick shift. And if you know anything about Gadsden and the pier where the Moraine Park is, that's a steep ass hill. Okay, real steep hill. I tried to drive his car up that still and up that hill, and I ripped the clutch out of that car. And then Etowah County did show up and made him give us the keys back, and then we got an Etowah County escort all the way home because my mother said I had to be home by 11:30. And as soon as I walked up on the back porch, I got my ass beat for being late, because by God, she told me that I needed to be home by 11:30, and I was like, "Bro, I called you at 11 and I told you what was going on." And she was like, "You shouldn't have had yourself in a situation like that to begin with, Jessica. What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I was like, "You know what? True story, Susan." And then she was like, "By the way, where's that $40?" And I was like, "What $40?" And she was like, "The $40 that you had left over. I don't believe this whole story that you got going on. Like, I don't believe it. Where's your money at? You went spend it on alcohol. What did you do?" I was like, "I really didn't." She's like smelling my breath, smelling my hair, and I don't smell like alcohol, like at all. Because I didn't drink alcohol. My friends did air testers that night. Okay, they were not drinking. So, anyways, she made me strip down naked, completely, like completely naked in the living room, and show her every inch of my body, because she was convinced that if I did not buy alcohol, then I had gotten a piercing or a tattoo somewhere on my body, because at this time $40 would have paid for either one, maybe even both, depending on where I got it at. But that's the kind of mother that I had in high school. But yet everybody thought that I was the bad kid. But no, no. Susan didn't allow that. She was real fucking scary. And everybody's like, "Oh no, she's not that bad. She's not that bad. I love Susan. Susan's stories are funny." And no, they're not, because at 17 years old, I was having to beg a police officer not to take my mother to jail because she had literally laid out in the middle of 431 and stopped an entire 18 wheeler that was pulling a single wide trailer. And when I say laid out, I mean like fucking planked in the middle of 431. Okay. Truck had to stop. Traffic was backed up for miles. There was Etowah County police officers everywhere because this lady had bought the single wide trailer from my papa. She didn't finish paying for it. She sent somebody to come pick it up. They left with it. She still owed my mama $600 or my papa, whichever one I don't know whose money it was, but either way, the bitch owed $600. And my mama was like, yeah, no, you ain't taking the trailer. So she laid there. And so Edward County made her come and put her in handcuffs in the back of their car and then released my mother into my custody at 17 years old. But talk about fun. It's a real good time. And then there was a time, I'm not exactly sure how old I was at this time, but I feel like maybe I was probably 14 or 15. No, maybe not even that old because I think my little sisters were still in booster seats. But we were coming down 431 in Boaz, and this girl decided to play cat and mouse with my mama. That was real fucking dumb. Why she decided to do that, I don't know. I don't know. So we did that all the way down 431 from like Albertville to Boaz. And then my mom was like, all right, little bitch, I'm going to whoop your ass. And she's in her expedition and she just follows the girl all the way down 431. Girl pulls into the McDonald's in Boaz. My mama blocks her car in. The girl comes running up to my mama's car talking about, once you get your ass out that fucking car, once you get your fat ass out that fucking car, I'm going to pop a cap in your ass, bitch. And me and both my little sisters in the back seat, car seats. Okay? And my mama gets out the car and the girl was like, immediately, it was probably one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed in my life. As soon as my mother got out the car, you have to keep in mind that Susan's damn near 6 feet tall at the time and weighed like 324 pounds because she had not had weight loss surgery yet. And as soon as both of her feet hit the pavement, that girl said, you better get your fat ass back in that car. You better get your fat ass back in that car. Like, bitch, you was just begging her to get out. Okay. And that's literally what my mom said. She said, you was begging me to get out, bitch. Now I'm going to whoop your ass. And she's like, I'm going to pop a cap in your ass and goes to her trunk like she's going to get out again. So my mama drives us around the other side of a concrete wall. And then she gets back out and goes back over there to beat the shit out of the girl. But by this time, the police are already there. It was a really, really good time. And then there was the time at Cracker Barrel in Atala. We were walking in. This is really more of a crazy story about me than Susan, I guess. But again, I'm like 15, 16 at the time. And I don't know what beef this girl had with my mama, but apparently they all worked in the Gadsden Mall together. And she also worked at Cracker Barrel. So we were walking in to eat Cracker Barrel. And this girl was walking out of Cracker Barrel. And I seen her mumble something at my mama because I was trailing behind. You know, I couldn't be seen with the family. I'm like a few steps behind. And she turns around and she's like, nah, 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 and shoots my mama a bird. And I whooped the fuck around out into the goddamn parking lot, out to her car, all the way to her car trying to fight this bitch. And she's like a grown ass woman. I don't give a fuck. Do not fucking care. She rolls her fucking window up, got her fucking door locked. My mama comes out there and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Getting on to me, trying to pull me back into the fucking Cracker Barrel. And then that girl's like, fucking crazy ass bitch to me. And my mama was like, oh hell no. And then turns around and starts trying to bust the girl's fucking window out of her car because she called me a crazy ass bitch. Was I being a crazy ass bitch? Absolutely. But she started that shit. What the fuck? Why'd she wait till my mama walked off and did that shit behind her back? But anyway, she like drug Susan like halfway down the parking lot because my mama wouldn't let go of her car and she's like trying to bust the window out to whoop her ass and she's trying to drive away because she was scared to death. But you know, that was that time. And then one time I watched my mama pick up a lady that was pregnant with twins and she was like fucking massive. This lady was fucking huge. She was already a big lady and then she was pregnant with twins. So when I tell you she was like as wide as the motherfucking double wide we lived in, that is no fucking lie. She showed up on my mama's back steps talking shit, trying to fucking start some argument with my mama talking about her daddy had a gun, this, that, and the other. So my mama pulls out a fucking shotgun and she's like, whose gun's bigger, bitch? And you know what? I don't need a gun. And throws the gun down and then picks up this woman, literally picks her up by her fucking shoulders and steps her off of her fucking steps. So just boop, and picks her up off the steps. And I was just like, that woman was fucking huge. Like, in my mind, I'm a small child, okay? So I'm thinking that my mama is fucking Hulk because she just picked this bitch up and completely sat her off of the fucking steps. Now, it's also about right around the time that we had a dog that went missing. Okay, this dog's name was Tazzy. Was that Tazzy? Or Tazzy? I can't remember which dog it was, but it was anyway. It's a family dog. We love our animals around here. Okay, they're like family. Now, I had been sitting at the bottom of the driveway with my little dog on my little picnic blanket, and this girl walked by. Ashley Belt was her name. She walked by and she was like, "Oh my god, I love your dog. Your dog's so cute." And the next day, my dog was gone, like just vanished out of thin air. And they moved, and my mama was like, "Oh hell no, they stole the fucking dog." So my mama tries to figure out where they moved to. And she keeps trying to steal their mail out of their mailbox, but they had their shit forwarded. So the mail lady like was never leaving mail. So my mama like scoped out the mail lady one day and sat at the end of the driveway until the mail lady came up and she was like, "Hey, I need to know their forwarding address." And she was like, "I cannot give you that information." And my mama was like, "Yes, the fuck you can. Let me tell you, they done stole my daughter's dog, blah, 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 blah." And the lady dropped a piece of mail and she was like, "Ma'am, can you hand me that?" And my mama picks up that piece of mail and she like reads it before she hands it back. She's like, I don't know if that's where they live or not. That's that's where the mail's going. And my mama was like, thank you. Thank you, bitch. Thank you. She's already talking to an investigator, calls the investigator, tells the investigator, I found out where they live. The investigator's like, there's nothing I can do, really. Like, can't have no, like, you don't have any proof. My mama was like, oh, okay. So we found out that they lived in an apartment building in Rainbow City. So we all load up, all of us go down there. And my mama done talks to the lady that's like over I guess the apartment manager or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I've heard a dog in there, blah, 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 whatever. So my mama goes and knocks on the fucking door and they open it and it's got the little chain. No, they said come in. They didn't open it. They said come in. And Susan, when I tell you she busted that goddamn door, she didn't turn the door handle. She fucking boom, busted that fucking door straight off. Fucking hinges flew off the goddamn door. And everybody in that motherfucker was like scared to fucking death. She's like, where's my goddamn dog, motherfucker? Like raising hell. Everybody in the apartment building done came out. Like there's a whole fucking crowd out the door just sitting waiting. And this girl's crying like, I didn't take your dog. My mom was like, no, yes the fuck you did. I know you took my motherfucking dog and I'm telling you, I'm gonna whoop your motherfucking ass whether I get my dog back or not, bitch. So you might as fucking well tell me where my dog's at. So this girl's finally like, okay, I'll tell you where your dog's at. My mama literally done picked her up by her fucking throat, had her up against the fucking wall, done walked her ass outside talking about, you gonna show me where the fuck my dog's at, dragging her by her fucking hair. Finally, she tells us, and my mom was like, it's a whole nother address. It's a trailer park in Rainbow City. It's a whole nother address. My mom was like, I know you don't think I'm about to go on no motherfucking wild goose chase, bitch. Get in the fucking car. Get in the fucking car. And she was like, no, I'm not getting in the fucking car. She was like, yes, so yeah, the fuck you are. You getting in this goddamn car. So she got in the goddamn car, and then she took us to where we were supposed to go to get the dog, and she had somebody follow us, and then my mama let her out the car and let her go back, but we got the dog back. My mama goes and knocks on this little old lady's door, and this little lady's got like 12 fucking dogs in there. She's like, the dog immediately saw my mama and like went nuts and ran to my mama. So the lady was like, I can tell it's your dog. She won't eat. My mama was like, fuck no, she don't eat dog food, bitch. She eats Happy Meals. The fuck you in here feeding her some cheap ass shit. I got the fucking dog and left, but they had sold the dog and sold the dog to this lady. My mama was like, I don't give a fuck. You shouldn't have bought a goddamn fucking dog off of I don't give a fuck. Like, I ain't giving you your money back, but I'm taking my fucking dog. And we ended up taking the dog. That was a good time. And then one time they were mean to me at school. And my mama got banned from the school. That was a whole situation. They were mean to me the whole fucking year. And it all boiled down to the fact that my mama wouldn't sell the vice principal some land. Okay. And I got wrote up every other day. And this day in particular, they had wrote me up for a t-shirt that said hot chick. And it had a chicken, like a little yellow baby chicken with flames on it. Okay. And I was in the 6th grade. So they wrote me up for that and said it was sexually suggestive. And my mama came over there. And there's a hole about this big in the window and one about this big at the bottom, just big enough for you to sign that paper. My mama's arm went straight through that fucking window, and Miss Lester came straight up to that fucking window, fucking face pressed against it. And she was like, telling you right now, you better get Virginia Mashburn in this motherfucker, because we're about to fucking fight. My kid better not get another goddamn write-up. I don't give a fuck if she comes to school fucking naked. I'm tired of this fucking shit. That was a good time. Officer Klein had to come and like remove her from school. Oh, and then one time when my little sisters went to school, I know them bitches. I know they hated it. I know when my mama sold her house, they were like, thank God, kissing the fucking ground, because both my little sisters go to school there. My mama's driving this little Maxima, and it's like about to get repoed. Okay, they've been trying to repo this bitch for, God dang, I know, like probably a month at least. They had done like been trying, and Susan was parking it in the fucking garage and like locking it up, and like it was a whole thing. So she's in the line, like in the drop-off line, dropping Marcy and Emily off at school. And they tried to fucking repo her car out of the car line. Like, he drives faster and backs up to her car in the car line. And Susan said, oh, hell no. And tore out to the motherfucking grass like goddamn Dukes of Hazzard. And while all Marcy's friends are standing out there watching. And her crush was like, oh, my God. Marcy's mom just Dukes of Hazzarded it out in the front. And they're like, yeah, she literally did like donuts in the grass at the fucking Whitesboro Elementary School. Calls the repo truck to hit a van. And the van that on the tow truck company had to pay to have that fucking van fixed, because it did a bunch of damage to it. That was a real good time. And then later on, some years later, same tow truck company and tried to get one of my cars that I had been letting my mama drive. I was like, you can drive it so they come get the bitch. So mama was driving it, and he done tried to get it a few times. And I'm telling you right now, you are not going to repo a car from Susan if she don't want the car repoed. The only way you're getting it is if she surrenders that bitch. She will run it in a motherfucking lake before she lets you have it. I am not playing. She's at fucking Sonic. It's pulled up into a booth at Sonic, And this man comes and like gonna back up and take the fucking car. He thinks if he blocks her in, she can't go nowhere. He's getting the fucking car, right? Like he's gonna get it. No, bitch, tell me how she made a whole fucking Sonata go in between the fucking boots down the motherfucking sidewalk where the goddamn tables are at fucking Sonic and still managed to get away from him. He wouldn't get that motherfucking car. When he did finally get that car, he wouldn't let me have my shit out. I was like, I'm so sorry. Susan's like, I can't help it. I can't help it. Susan's caused you so much grief. Like, you just know better than to try to repo a car if she's driving it. Just let it go. Just let it go. It ain't that serious. Like, hell, my Uncle Bobby one time set a car on fire when they came to repo it. He's just there, repo trucks driving away with it. And he was like, bet, and picks up a bottle of liquor, sets the fucking oily ass rag that he was working on a car with, and that bitch sets it on fire, and floom, Bobby Turner just threw it as hard as he could, and it landed right on top of that fucking car, and flames went everywhere. And the people jumped out the fucking tow truck trying to hurry up and get the car off the tow truck. You just don't repo a car from Turner. You just fucking give it up, because by the time you get it back, it ain't gonna be worth having. No fucking way. I promise. See if there's any more repo stories of Susan's that I can think of. Oh, there's this one time that she had this expedition and she literally owed 2 payments on it. Okay, 2 payments. And I drove it from one side of the pond to the other. And I drove it down one side and then I was going to drive it back around the other side and it got stuck. So I tell my mama that it gets stuck and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And she was like, I'm going to rock it out. And I was like, all right. So she comes out there and she's like rocking this car, like doing all of these things. And I'm like, look, Brian Chambly's daddy owns a tow truck. And he said that he would come and tow it out, but you got to wait till he gets off work. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that. I can get it out. And I was like, okay, bet. So she just kept on and kept on and kept on until the muffler on the Expedition gets hot and it catches the grass on fire underneath it. It wasn't grass, it was hay. Catches the hay on fire underneath the car. And like, it literally just boom, flames every fucking where. Okay, there was a propane tank in the back. I'm trying to run to the car and jump in the front seat to get my digital camera because I had just taken a bunch of pictures of myself in the barn and I did not want to lose that camera. My mom was trying to, I'm like diving through the front seat and she's grabbing me by my fucking ponytail, jerking me out that bitch, talking about Jessica, let the fucking camera go. And we're trying to like run with fucking buckets of water and shit back and forth to the fucking field from the pond, trying to get it to go out. And then my mom was like, oh shit, the fucking propane tank, and tells everybody to run. So we all take off running. And then the car goes boom up in the air and comes back down like something out of the movie. And then the fire department and everything gets there. And they were being so mean to my mama. And she was crying. I mean, she was hyperventilating and having a full-blown panic attack, rightfully so. And they were like, yo, this is an insurance scam. Let me get your insurance. And when my mama looked at that man and said, I don't have insurance, his fucking jaw dropped to the floor. And he was like, what? And she was like, I don't have insurance. It last week. I only owe 2 payments. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then they were like really, really nice to her and like helped clean up the car and everything. That was a good time. Yeah, everybody thought that was an insurance scam, but nope, she didn't have insurance. She was just impatient and didn't want to wait on somebody to tow the truck out, so she caught the grass on fire. But if you ask her, that was my fault because I got the vehicle stuck to begin with. Yeah, that was a really good time. Really good time. What are some other Susan stories? There's a few. I feel like I'm missing something important. I feel like those are mild. I was trying to build up, but now I can't remember the good ones. Oh, the time that she divorced Kevin, or they separated. I don't know if they never really divorced. I don't even know if they were married at that point in time. But anyways, so my mother's husband at the time had decided that he was going to cheat on her with this lady that he worked with that was like way younger than him. There's several stories that go along with this one. And my mama was not dumb, so she knew, and she like kept on and on and on. And he's like, no. So he decides that he's going to leave like 2 weeks before Christmas, right? Okay, and then we start getting all these weird phone calls to the house and like this mouth breathing into the phone, this kind of shit. And my mom was like, it's your little girlfriend. It's your little girlfriend. You didn't leave because you couldn't take the stress anymore. You left because you got a little fucking girlfriend, and I'm not stupid. So he decides that he's leaving and he moves out and all that kind of shit. And he just comes back and visits at Christmas. And then one of his friends calls my mama and they're like, hey, Susan, just wanted to check on you and see how you were. And he was like, my mom was like, good, why? And he was like, well, Kevin said that he had to leave because his wife was in a car accident and you're his wife. And my mama said, oh, really? And then she left the house with my cousin Brandy. and she went to Boaz and Albert Hospital because that's where Kevin was with his girlfriend, because his wife didn't have a car wreck. His girlfriend had a car wreck, and he thought that he was going to put that girlfriend in my mama's, well, it was his Firebird, but my mother paid for that motherfucker. So she took a baseball bat into the hospital with her, and she busted the window out the back of his Firebird, and she went and jerking all the little curtains back, because that was before they had them sliding glass doors, and it was just curtains back there, until she found Kevin and his little girlfriend, and she punched Kevin in the back of his fucking head all the way out the door. She went to jail that night for domestic violence. That was a good time. But then she got out of jail, and by the time they went to court together and told the judge how they were getting back together, and they were happily married. But before she did that, before she busted the window out, she went and had a key made and stole his car from him at work and left him with no car for a couple of weeks. She ended up letting him have it back. That was a good time. That was a real good time. And her first ex-husband, he cheated on her with her best friend, and he was a pro bass fisherman. So she broke all his fishing trophies and wore his fishing medallions to court with her when she divorced him, and put Caro syrup in the gas tank of all of his vehicles. And when the police got called, when she was out there vandalizing all of that, they basically told him that she was still married to him and there was nothing he could do about it, because it was also her property. And yeah, so she just got to ruin all his shit, but they did take the 38 that she had with her, because she had full intentions on shooting him. Because I thought this man was my father, because he had been a part of my life since I was like 4 months old. And then when I was 6, he leaned into the car in the middle of their divorce, and I was crying because I wanted to go with my daddy. And he said, your mama's been lying to you this whole time. I'm not your daddy. And my mama reached across and jerked the fucking gold bass fish that he had hanging off of his fucking neck, and told him that she'd be back. And that's when she went back with 38 and was going to kill him, because he broke my heart, not because he broke hers. Yeah, the Caro syrup in the gas tank was for her. The bullet was going to be for me, but the police got there and took her gun. So that was a good time. And that's just like, that's really nothing compared to the Susan stories. I mean, she's pretty fucking wild. It's a good time. And then people wonder why I am the way I am. Oh, there's a time that she beat my ass. That's when I was in cosmetology school. That's the first time I ever hit my mama. I was like 20 years old. And she came to my house, and she had just had a full hysterectomy, and she was like supposed to be taking hormones and all this kind of shit. And she ended up like trying to fight with my ex, and then me and her got into it, and she kept shoving me and kept shoving me, and then she started hitting me. She started beating the fuck out of me. She blacked both my eyes and fucking broke my nose. Like, had a big old thing on my fucking nose. It was absolutely awful. And I pulled her on top of me. Okay, like I'm on the ground and I'm holding her arm so that she can't hit me anymore. But these dumb motherfuckers thought that they were doing something, and they kept like pulling her off of me, trying to. And all they were doing was pulling her arms away from me, giving her leverage to fucking hit me again. So I finally got tired of it and said, God damn it, fuck this. And got up, and I fucking hit her ass back. And my little sister started beating me with a fucking baseball bat in my hip. I think that's why I got hip problems to this motherfucking day. The whole side of my hip was from here to here bruised, because my mama was beating my ass, and I decided to defend myself. So my little sister beat the shit out of me with a fucking baseball bat. But once I got up and I started hitting her back, she was so motherfucking quick. Like, I could put on just as fucking much as she could, and me and her ain't been in a fucking brawl since then. That was a good time. But once I got her out the door and we had stopped fighting, she then decided to fight with a man that was out there. And then after getting into a physical altercation with a man, she got into her car and did not run him over, but damn sure didn't try not to run him over, and hit him with her car. And she went to jail for that. That's when I got custody of both my little sisters, because she went to jail over that one. That was a good time. It's a real good time. Yeah. And one time when she was dating my stepdad now, before my little sisters were born, him and her got into some kind of argument over something. I don't know. All I know is I was sitting there, and next thing I know, there was a vacuum cleaner, and then there wasn't, because she picked up the vacuum cleaner and chucked it. And this is in the early 90s, okay? This is like 95, so it's a big fucking heavy vacuum cleaner. Threw it all the way down the hallway, shattered a fucking mirror at the end of the hallway, and then hit him in the head with a wooden shoe. And then he left, got in his car, drove off with my bicycle underneath the fucking car. I'm literally standing out in the yard crying because he's driving off with my fucking bicycle underneath the fucking car. And it's just like sparks flying everywhere. And then I see my bicycle like finally pop out, like when he gets way down the road. And I ran to the fucking neighbor's house and called my Uncle Michael. And I was like, hey, here's my bicycle. I was so tore up about my bicycle. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else that was going on. I just wanted my bicycle because, goddamn it, I drove that motherfucker everywhere, every fucking day. I was tore up about that. I didn't get another fucking bicycle till Christmas. I'm still pissed about that. That was not a good time.